If you're training for a SOF selection and you're having pain with your run, then this video is for you. I'm gonna go over my top 2 pain triggers I look for when I'm dealing with a client who is experiencing pain with their running. Those 2 pain triggers are volume and intensity. Now, if you watch the strength training video, the pain triggers or strength training video, you'll know that I talked about 3 pain triggers there, and the third one being range of motion. While range of motion can be a trigger for your pain with running, it's not something that I first look at, right? So for this video, I'm gonna just talk about volume and intensity. So I'm gonna first go into volume because that's kind of the easiest thing to understand, and it's probably the most common pain trigger that I see when I'm working with clients. And when we're looking at volume, we're looking at volume within a single training session and volume across a week. And volume is your distance, right? So when you go out for a run, you're getting to the 3-mile mark, and that's when you start experiencing pain, right? In this situation, you want to stay below that 3-mile mark, right? You want to do 2.5 miles in a training session while we work on other things to overcome pain, and you desensitize, you adapt, you build up that endurance, you build up that tolerance to handle 3 miles and above and slowly progress past that. We can also look at miles across a week span. If after a week, you're just feeling crushed, you're having pain and it takes you a few days to recover, and that's on like a week-to-week basis, well then your miles across a week are probably a little bit too high. You aren't tolerating that many miles in a week, right? So if you're running 20 miles a week and you're constantly feeling pain and you're not recovering, well then we want to reduce some of that mileage across a week so that we're not getting in that pain threshold, right? And again, you want to stick with that for 2 to 3 weeks. You want to stick below that pain threshold, then slowly starting to add back in miles once you're feeling good, once you're starting to overcome that pain. The next thing is intensity, right? So this is speed. A lot of times when we are trying to push a certain pace time, we develop a sensitivity, we develop pain to that specific speed, right? So we need to determine, what pace do we start experiencing that pain? And once we understand what pace triggers the pain, we want to stay below that pace, right? We want to stay below that speed. Again, for like 2 to 3 weeks, while we're working on other things to overcome the pain, and while our body desensitizes, while our body does adapt, and then we can slowly start increasing our pace time from there so we can get back to the numbers we need to hit, whether that's, you're prepping to get to selection with the fitness tests or just general speed to prepare you fully for selection. So my 2 pain triggers I look at when a client comes to me and they're having pain with their running. If you have any questions on this, click the link below, head over to our Facebook group, join it up, ask any questions you want, and you'll get more information like this as time goes by on a more frequent basis.